Welcome back again to this channel, and this is the last episode. I promise this is the very last one. In the previous one, we discussed inserting questions, and I said we did something wrong, but probably you are wondering what you did wrong, and so follow me from this page and then see what you did or we did wrong or I showed you wrong. Okay, so let's take this for instance. No, let me not go through this. Let me take this one because that's what we've always been watching. Alright, so see what happens. I take my introduction as a student, and then I go to the first principle of derivatives, and I have some things to do, and then I'm prompted. It says, hey Elena, there's test 1 to do, there's test 2 to do, after which you'll be taken to a derivative rules page. Let me take that again. After this content page, it says, do you know something? There's a test to take here. There are 2 tests. So that prompts the learner of the next stage instead of keeping them in the dark and then just chance or bounce on a test. So you want to do that in your, so it means that if the student tries to even skip to the derivative rules, automatically it takes them to the test. So you submit, and then when you are done, it takes you to a second test. Good job. Yeah, I'm very smart. It takes them to a second test automatically because of how we have structured our flow. And then when the right choice is done, then the person can now move to derivative rules, exactly what you want to do. So how do we do that? We've already inserted some questions, but then we've not prompted the learner of it. So it means that since there's a question at the introduction, I want to move to introduction and then embed it as a content for the student. So it says that I don't want you to have limit first. I want the limit to be the second thing, but you would take a test. So you would take a test 1, okay, as the next thing, and before the principal would come. So mostly in my content page, I would like to let them say, so quickly, I like to use a blog. So quickly, you want to inform, they be informative and be fun. Quickly take the test to understand, the test for understanding or whatever, after which after which you would consider what's the next thing, limit principles. Please, it's your lesson structure, so you want to be very creative. You can even add emoji, okay, just as a prompt. Emojis makes things clearer and beautiful. So with test, I want to go to object. This is not part of the discussion, but just to take you through, let me just use this. Okay, so it says prompt. I want to prompt you. How do you spell prompts? Oh, okay, so I want to use header 5 and then save this. So I've prompted the student that there's a test, even from the description here, okay, from the blog quotes here, and then the first content. So they are not in the dark. They know there will be a quiz. Again, there's a test here, okay, and so it means that I need to come to my introduction page and then say, you know what, you would first do a test 2, okay, so test 2, move to the next page for me, and then come to, in place of quotients, you will now move to the power rule. I'm not making my work sequential. Next page, node branches, okay, and then I can save this now. Is that the last quiz? No, there's 3 here. It means that under the product rule, I need to let them know that after taking the content on product rule, there will be a test instead of, so quotient will rather come second. Okay, this is how you want to relate with the student. So there will be a test 3, and then there will be a quotient rule for you. I think that's all. Test 4, we've not prompted them of test 4, so it means it comes in the preceding one on the chain rule. So my content 2 will rather become the summary at the end of the lesson, and then my first content will be the test 4. Okay, So I know here is the end of lesson, so let me use end of lesson. And then, well, it's not end of lesson, there's something else. I think there's a lecture video as the next thing. So you want to be very careful with your content pages and then the flow. So save. Okay, so there's a lecture video. So after lecture video, I can say end of summary, and instead of next page, I rather say end lesson. Okay, save page. Now this is well done. Let's take it as a student. So I want to, even without a student, you can still look at it. So let's go to lesson and start preview from the first page. So after introduction, it says, you know what, there's a test and then there's a limit principle. You can't skip because of the flow. I use the next page. So quickly take the test first, and then let me just say false, submit, and it says, oh, your answer is wrong. Do you want to try again? And no, let's continue. I go to my limit with my videos there. I'll go to some rules of the game, and after rules, it says there's a test 2 before you can move to the next rule. So you have to take test 2. AC is a girl. Submit. Great. Continue. Then there's a quotient. Okay, there's a test 3. It means there are 2 tests there. 4 plus 4 is 8. Submit. Good, you are doing just good. Continue. Then I know I can move to my quotient rule to test 4. I can't just go straight to lecture video because of the flow. It automatically even take the student to the test, so you don't need to worry about anything. And this is how you quickly get everything clean done for your student. And so I bring my message to an end on our lesson activity. Explore the lesson structure, and anything you do in the classroom, you can manage them on your virtual space in the same instance, so you don't have to always be in the classroom to teach. This even helps the student to master self-learning and know how to learn on their own. I think I'm saying the same thing, right? But it enhances teaching and learning activity. Very engaging, very educative and engaging for both the instructor and the student, where they see their progress bar and then the result at the end of the day. So thank you very much, and then you can have your questions and comments in the section, and then I'll respond to all of it. Bye bye.